Hello, everyone. If you landed here, you've landed on Let's Talk News, and I'm your host, Leticia Remauro, and we have a lot to talk about today. Some people will like it, some people won't like it, but that's what happens here on Let's Talk News, right? We get down to the brass tacks and we talk about things very, very frankly, and we pull no punches. And we already have Kevin Wall is here from across the world. Hi, Kevin. Our title is Who's Winning? And I had a picture of both President Trump and Governor Walls up. And Kevin's response is, this is just destruction of a great country seen from the outside. There are no winners in this nonsense, only destruction. I agree. I agree, Kevin. I wish the president had taken my advice weeks ago and just pulled the ICE agents out of Minnesota. And I'll explain why I say that in a minute. It's not because I don't think that they have a right to do their job and that the Constitution actually states that it is their duty, the federal government's duty, to handle border security and citizenship. And the president has to ensure that the laws that Congress has passed are enforced, because that's what I do and that's what's happening. Hello, Karen. How are you? So I believe that the issue is that there's a PR war going on right now. Other than and I don't understand why snow in winter is news, um, other than nonstop talk about snow in winter. Um, the only thing that we're talking about now is the shooting of Alex Pretti. And we're going to see that together in a minute. Hello, Colleen. How are you? Um, Pretty good. Pretty and good. Two lives lost during protesting using weapons aimed at federal police, failing to follow orders and command. Problematic. Very, very similar to Ashley Babbitt, right? I've said it here before. I am sorry that Ashley Babbitt, an unarmed woman who was invited into the Capitol, is dead. But the fact that she went, she knew the risk. Like I said 100 times, I was there. I was with a group of people. Some of those people wanted to go into the Capitol because the police were inviting them in. The people that I love who were with me were kept with me outside because I said, oh no, something is wrong here. Why are they inviting people into the Capitol? And if they're going to make a speech in front of Congress and Pelosi and them said, oh, great, we'll let people come and speak. That's fantastic, but we didn't need to be there. And I'm glad that I took that stance because I knew how quickly things could get out of hand because it was a peaceful protest situation. It was very kumbaya, but there were just so many people. Anything could have gone wrong. Anything. Hello, Lucille. How are you? And what went wrong with Ashley Babbitt was she lost her life. What went wrong with Renee Good was she lost her life. She did not follow orders and she lost her life. What happened to Alex Pretti was he did not follow orders and he lost his life. He was carrying a legal firearm that he owned. Okay. The interesting thing is that the people in Minnesota who are protesting are all armed. The people on January 6th, there were no weapons. None. Whatever became weapons were barricades or whatnot. Nobody had a gun. Nobody except for the police on January 6th. So So we've got some issues, but now that everybody's here, I'm going to show you, and it's hard to watch. I mean, I'll tell you that. Where did it go? What was going on? Where did I go? Hold on, I got a problem. What did I just lose? I lost all of my clips. How did I do that? Oh my, oh my. Hold on. There's my banners. There's my no. What happened to my media assets? Background. More. Oh no, something has happened. Video clips. Okay. Oh, I got nervous for a minute. Okay. Sorry. It's Let's Talk News. Of course, I'm screwed up. Okay, what I'm going to show you is what actually happened with Alex Pretti and Pretti. And it's just, how ironic is it that the two people who were shot, their last names are pretty good? What? I mean, the universe is really, really, really weird. Really weird. But anyway, I digress. Oh wait, we have some commentary here. Oh, hi Francine, good to see you. All right, it's hard to watch. It's going to go at normal speed and then it's going to go in slow motion. And I want you to watch the guy with the, looks like Kleenex in his hand. Watch. Did you see what I saw? What I saw was one of the ICE agents taking Pretti's gun from him. That's what it looked like. And the other ICE agent who was split his attention, the one with the Kleenex, splitting his attention from one protester being arrested on his right and Pretti on his left, firing as soon as he saw the gun, as soon as that other ICE agent was clear. At no time did I see Pretti pointing a gun at any of the agents. So, does this make the agents wrong? Or does this make Pretti wrong? Well, I'm a gun owner, and we were trained that, and I have a carry license. Even though you don't need one here, I have a concealed carry license. And we were trained that if we get pulled over by law enforcement or we're ever in a situation where law enforcement approaches us, that you take your hands and you put them up and you tell law enforcement, I am armed. My loaded gun is in my car console, my waistband, my whatever, and you keep your hands up. And you let, even though you are a legal owner of a gun, and even though you didn't use your gun, you put up your hands and you state to law enforcement that you have a gun. Why? Because you don't want them to be surprised and find the gun in case they have to pat you down. You don't want them to ever think that you're going to pull that gun. You want to cooperate with law enforcement whether you believe you did something wrong or not. And that's how you keep your life your own. And that's how you reduce the risk of things going wrong. I have no idea why Pretti thought that he should bring that gun, which was a pretty heavy duty gun. It was military grade, with an extended magazine, to a peaceful protest. Maybe somebody here has an idea why he did. I don't know. And though that officer shot, even though no shots were being fired to him, I think what went wrong there was when they were trying to arrest or remove Pretti from the situation, was that he fought back, knowing that he had a loaded gun with an extended magazine with extra ammunition in his holster in his waist. And at no time did he say, I have a loaded weapon. I am carrying a loaded weapon. I am lawfully allowed to carry it. It is in my waistband. Take it. At no time did he do that. Do you think that he expected that he was going to get shot at? Or do you think that he brought that weapon there to shoot at someone? Clearly, ICE had an idea of what was going on. Do I think that he should have died for it? I think that when you do something like that, you know that there's a chance that you are going to die or you're going to kill somebody. Okay. Oh, come on. Why is my thing not working right? It did take multiple agents to subdue him, so he was definitely resisting. Can't tell if he was a threat without the gun. I did hear that he disclosed that he was carrying a weapon. You saw it. I don't think that he disclosed it. I do think they found it. Also, not sure if the woman he was trying to help illegal and he interfered with the arrest. Well, any of that, again, if an officer tells you to do something, you do it. You do it. It's as simple as that. You do it. Yes, he was a citizen. Yes, he was an ICU nurse. Yes, he had a license to carry a firearm. However, that did not give him the right to hinder, impede, or not cooperate with the ICE agent's instruction. It is an unfortunate situation. He actually was a nurse for the Veterans Administration. He was not a veteran, but he was a nurse for the Veterans Administration. Good evening. Go Seahawks. Yes, go Seahawks. How are you, Beer Nut? Every citizen has a right to protest. You do not have a right to resist police orders and not tell them, well, you have a right not to tell them that you're carrying a firearm. But that kind of confusion is going to cause a whole other situation to occur. And for a nurse whose job is to heal veterans, I just wonder what he was thinking. What was he thinking? I think the gun that was taken from Pretti went off when the agent took it, which set off the others. We will find out as they investigate. That's a good possibility. The same thing happened in Staten Island, I believe, with the, I can't think of the guy's name, the guy with the cigarettes selling Lucy's. I'll never forget that. That was just crazy. It was such a clusterfuck because somebody yelled gun, and next thing you know, everybody had guns out, and he never had a gun, and he got killed for resisting arrest. Again, for resisting arrest. But that's all it takes. Whether you have one or you don't, it can happen. Look at what happened with Ashley Babbitt. Nobody from the J6 protesters had any weapons, but they still shot Ashley Babbitt. Why? Because they thought she had a gun. They thought she was a threat. They didn't know, and their job was to preserve and protect the president and the Congress and the vice president. That was their job. Yeah, Eric Gardner. Thank you. Do I think she deserved to get killed? No. Do I think she should have expected to get killed because she was a military veteran? Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what we've come to now in this country. I mean, but this is why, again, back when I said to the president, pull out from Minnesota, because he's losing the PR war. And now, before you all get on my ass and say, well, this isn't about PR, this is about the Constitution. Yes, it is. It is about the Constitution. It is about protecting America. But there is, an old friend of mine in politics said to me, you can't be playing checkers when everyone around you is playing chess. And she was so right. The Democrats are playing chess. Now their new thing is that they're going to do a government shutdown because of ICE funding. So they're getting what they want one way or the other. And so who's winning on this thing? Who's winning? I heard that model gun was known to go off if it fell to the ground, and speculated that's what may have happened, prompting agents to fire. There's a lot of speculation. Whatever it was that prompted the agents to fire, we will find out. But what ultimately prompted the agents to fire is that he didn't put up his hand, stop resisting, and say, I have a loaded firearm on me. That's what he didn't do. It is time to invoke the Insurrection Act. The tension is too high and things are getting out of hand. Carol, do you think that invoking that is not going to cause tensions to go higher and to cause Republican Congress members and senators to jump ship? We already have a problem. We have a big PR problem. And we have a problem in that we have been losing MAGA Congress members, Republican Congress members left and right. We don't have one more goes, we don't have a majority anymore. And that can happen. Who's going to stop it from happening? We have to use our heads. Good evening, Ramon. Good to have you. The same post said gun had dent, but that's hearsay as of now. Everything is hearsay until it's not. Just chilling. Good. Very funny, Ramon. Republicans have 12 budget appropriation bills ready to go. Yes. And we have the Senate saying that they're not going, as long as ICE is involved in it, they're going to hold up and they're going to close down the government. And whose problem is that going to be? You think it's going to be theirs? Wasn't theirs the last time. Another bullshit government shutdown, which the Democrats are going to fold on this. No, they won't. I would arrest Walsh and Ellison. I get you, Michael. And I thought about that. But how does that look? The optics of that is not great. That might, be red meat for the MAGA base, but it's the independents that you have to speak to in this country right now for the midterms. I don't know. It's ICE versus snowflakes. Very good. Very good. All right. Here's what they're saying, the Democrats and the independents.
It is increasingly likely we have a partial government shutdown next Saturday morning. It's about the math. Republicans need the votes of Democrats to clear a filibuster and put the spending plan on the floor. Now, Democrats were sketchy in their support before the shooting, but yesterday pushed them over the edge. Listen.
We can't vote to fund this lawless Department of Homeland Security. We cannot fund a Department of Homeland Security that is murdering American citizens, that is traumatizing little boys and girls all across the country in violation of the law.
Now, this bill funds 78% of the government. It includes money for DHS and the Pentagon. They need 60 yeas. Independent Senator Angus King of Maine helped end the fall shutdown, but he will not vote yes this time because of ICE.
I hate shutdowns. I'm one of the people that helped negotiate the solution to the end of the last shutdown, but I can't vote for a bill that includes ICE funding under these circumstances.
And even if they change the spending package, funding would lapse because the House and Senate are not aligned. The House is out this week. New Hampshire Democrat Jean Shaheen did not respond directly when asked how she would vote.
People are outraged by what's happening in Minnesota and by the out-of-control officers, federal officers that they're seeing on the ground by this shooting yesterday. It is horrific.
So it's easy when you are taking the counterpoint, right? It's very easy to take the counterpoint like the Democrats are taking. It's easy to do that. And even though they will be known as defunding the police, it doesn't matter anymore, right? We just elected a socialist as mayor of New York. And when I say we, I mean in America, a socialist is now mayor of New York City, the biggest, most expensive, financially rich city. New York City has a socialist mayor. We have other socialist mayor. I think Seattle has one, and Minneapolis has one. Clearly, but defund the police is no longer an offensive statement as it was when people were thinking. So I don't know. The arrest would be their role in the fraud, not the ICE stuff. There is video of Ellison saying he would block the investigations. Well, but again, see, that's what, Michael, Trump stepped on his own fucking dick. He had that whole fraud situation going. He could have just left it go. And that's all anybody was talking about over the holidays. And now he replaced it with this. Whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault but his. That's the point when I get crazy, because the Democrats, it's so easy for them to take the counterpoint and people to jump on board because nobody wants to see Americans shot in the street. Nobody. I'm seriously concerned about the midterms and our future. You should be. You should be. He should have listened to me. He should have listened and pulled out and let the fraud case go. And believe me, I spoke about it, not to him directly, but I got the message there and it was ignored and it wasn't spoken about. And now if you see, there are many people talking about it. You see Megyn Kelly talking about it and others. My message was carried and he went like this. I'm a political consultant. I do this shit. I wonder what Susie Wiles is doing about all of this, because this is crazy at this point. Like I said, it shouldn't be PR over substance. Trump is willing to die for his beliefs and to save this country. And I get it. Alex Pretti apparently was willing to die for his beliefs. Renee Good was willing to die for her beliefs. Ashley Babbitt was willing to die for her beliefs. But at the end of the day, if they tar and feather you and hang you out to dry, you didn't save the country, President Trump. What you did was you handed them the midterms. And then you handed them the ability to impeach you. And if they take the Senate, to try you. And the last 2 years of your presidency will be that. Bad. Don't people realize that ICE is in every state and chaos only in Minnesota? Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Trump has a lot on his plate. He put it there, Kevin. He put it there. I'm not saying that he shouldn't do what he's doing. What I am saying was he did not need to be in Minnesota as long as he is. He did not need this operation in Minnesota. He should have only done this with states where that people were cooperating. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Unfortunately, he falls on deaf ears and it breaks my heart. Okay. So just let's talk a bit about ICE and the worst of the worst. Have a look here. We're going to look now at Homeland Security, and we are going to look at the state of Florida, who cooperates with ICE. And we're going to look at the people that they have gotten off the street, ranging anywhere from sex offense, burglary, cocaine, larceny, battery, arson, aggravated assault, fraud, resisting officer, battery, vehicle theft, and kidnapping of a minor, larceny, possession. There's quite a few. So let's just take a look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 to a page. And look here, it's 169 pages in Florida. Let's then take a look at Minnesota. Well, let's see how many people they have been able to get off the streets in Minnesota, a non-cooperating state. We know that there is criminal sexual conduct, fourth degree of a 13 to 15-year-old. Okay. Assault, aggravated assault, non-family weapon, aggravated assault, sex assault, homicide, assault, aggravated homicide, carrying a prohibited weapon, amphetamine sales, homicide, burglary, sex assault, rape. There's only 41. Let's see. Is there more? I don't want to sell it short. Nope, 41's the number. So 41 is the number in Minnesota. So the people of Minnesota get to live with criminals of this ilk because they don't cooperate. Let's see, what is another cooperating state? Oh, that would be Texas, right? Let's see, Texas. Let's search for Texas and see how many they got off the street in Texas. So we have kidnapping, rape, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, smuggling of persons. That's great. Assault on a family house member, abandoning or endangering a child intentionally, knowingly, recklessly, or with criminal negligence. We just saw that in Minnesota too, right? But they said that they were arrested. Look at this, 372 pages times 12. Figure, do the math, somebody. Let's see, what else? I think it was Louisiana. Let's go to a non-cooperating state, New York. Let's see New York. Let's see what's been able to happen in New York. Homicide and racketeering, assault and larceny, attempted murder, disorderly conduct, conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute heroin, burglary. All right, let's see how many. 49 pages. And we know damn well that the majority of people were going to New York. So New Yorkers, guess what? You're all living with criminals because your governor does not want to cooperate. What did we say? Louisiana was, Arkansas is a cooperating state. Let's see what happened in Arkansas. I'm just interested. I mean, now you wouldn't think that somebody would want to come to Arkansas, but who knows? Because that's a really red state. Assault, aggravated assault, possession with intent, crystal meth, domestic violence, drug trafficking, cocaine, yada, 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 yada. All right. Small state of Arkansas, low population, 27 pages worth of migrants in a cooperating state. Now let's look at California. Huge, right? California is huge. Non-cooperating. Okay. What do we got? Methamphetamine, aggravated assault, gun robbery, domestic violence, yada, yada, yada. Let's go down that. Wow, that's pretty big. 257. So that's even though Newsom is not cooperating. But you get where I'm going here, right? That who are the losers in this situation? The losers are the people who have to live in these states because their governors are not cooperating. Okay, so let's just see what else we have to say. Can't believe we got Trump back and it's all for nothing. Well, it has to change. And this week, the Arctic blast raised gasoline prices 50 cents, the highest hike that we've ever seen in 35 years. So that's not going to be helpful. Yeah, thank you. So I forget which one was 372. Anyway, the long and short of this whole situation is that the losers in all of this are going to be Americans, right? Because if the Democrats have their way, the immigrants stay, the violent criminal immigrants stay. They actually get to vote. They change the rules so that we never have a Republican president again. Or we wind up having a real life civil war, which is a real possibility right now. The American people, no matter what, are the ones that lose. And it shouldn't happen because Donald Trump is trying to do the right thing. He needs to focus on the economy and the border. He's even losing points on the border. He of all people should know how to play PR. Unfortunately, he again, even though he got burned by them, again, they're outsmarting him in the PR department, and that's unfortunate. He needs to stop playing their game, and he needs to play his own game. And he needs to recognize that people don't want to think about their president and their government every single day. There's some like me who do, but for the most part, nobody does. Especially in the way the world is running now, they don't want to think about it. For God's sakes, they elected a socialist in New York City, President Trump. The world is changing into something that you and I don't recognize. You are smarter than the average bear. You need to read the room. You're not reading the room. The Dems only do this when they are not in charge. Of course they do, Kevin. That's the whole problem. But the fact this is part there. We did the same exact thing in 2020. 2018 as well. I mean, with the impeachment shit. For the first year, everything was running smoothly. Things were going fantastic. And then here we go into the midterms and all this stuff is manifested. For a minute, I was wondering if that ICE agent was really an ICE agent. He might have been, everybody's wearing masks. He might have been planted there by the global elitists. Who knows? I don't know. It's a possible. I don't put anything past the Dems anymore. We need to not be in Minnesota. We need to not be in any state that's not cooperating. We need to only work in states that are cooperating. Period. He has gotten a good, on average, I think he's got about 2,000 per state out this year or last year. I mean, that he arrested criminals. So, I mean, that's a good dent. It's a good dent. Some more, some less, but that's a good dent in the problem. He's cleaning up Biden's problem that is affecting and killing our children. And I get it. But, yeah. All right. Good night, Colleen. All right. So that's it. Not a happy day. I'm not in a good mood. I think that we need to stand by our president, but we also have to call him out when we think he's doing something wrong, because at the end of the day, if he's not there for the next 2 years to do the job we hired him to do, then we're lost. Then we're absolutely lost. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Thanks for joining.